What is a cell? A cell is the basic structural and functional unit of living organisms. It is a tiny, self-contained entity that contains all the essential components of life, including genetic material, DNA or RNA, and the machinery necessary for metabolism, growth, response to stimuli, and reproduction. Types of cells. There are two main types of cells. Prokaryotic cells. Without a true nucleus, these cells lack a membrane-bound nucleus and are typically small and simple in structure. Examples include bacteria and archaea. Eukaryotic cells. With a true nucleus, these cells have a membrane-bound nucleus and are typically larger and more complex in structure. Examples include plants, animals, fungi, and protists. Parts of a cell. A typical eukaryotic cell consists of the following parts. Organelles. Nucleus. Contains genetic material, DNA, and controls cell growth and reproduction. Mitochondria. Generates energy for the cell through cellular respiration. Endoplasmic reticulum, involved in protein synthesis, transport, and lipid metabolism. Golgi apparatus. Processes and packages proteins and lipids for transport out of the cell. Lysosomes. Contains digestive enzymes and is responsible for cellular digestion and recycling. Ribosomes. Site of protein synthesis. Cytoskeleton. Provides structural support and shape to the cell. Cell membrane. Plasma membrane. Separates the cell from its environment and regulates the movement of materials in and out of the cell. Cytoplasm. Cytosol. The jelly-like substance inside the cell membrane where many metabolic reactions take place. Other cell structures. Centrioles. Involved in the formation of cilia, flagella, and the spindle fibers during cell division. Chloroplasts. Found in plant cells and responsible for photosynthesis. Vacuoles. Stores water, salts, and other substances. Cilia. Short, hair-like structures involved in movement and sensing the environment. Flagella. Long, whip-like structures involved in movement. Now let's explain in a different way. Let me tell you a story of the cells. Let's think that animal body or plant is a country and each organ or plant's part is a village, where each house is a cell, and inside each house, there are tiny furniture, which are the parts of cells, and structures that work together to keep the cell alive and growing. The walls of each house, or cell membrane, are like the outer layer of a protective bubble, separating the cell from its environment and controlling what comes in and out. This wall is semi-permeable, like a filter, allowing certain substances to pass through while keeping others out. And it's made up of a special material called phospholipid bilayer, with hydrophilic, water-loving, heads facing outwards, and hydrophobic, water-fearing, tails facing inwards. Inside each house, there's a tiny factory, or nucleus, which is like the brain of the cell. It contains the cell's DNA, the instructions for how to build and maintain the cell. It's like a blueprint, guiding the cell's growth and development. The furniture, or organelles, are like the cell's organs, each with a specific function. The mitochondria, or power plant, generates energy for the cell through a process called cellular respiration. It's like a tiny power station, providing the energy the cell needs to function. The endoplasmic reticulum, or assembly line, builds and packages proteins and lipids. It's like a tiny factory, producing the cell's building blocks. The Golgi apparatus, or shipping department, prepares and sends out proteins and lipids. It's like a tiny post office, packaging and shipping the cell's products. The lysosomes, or recycling center, breaks down and recycles old cell parts. It's like a tiny recycling plant, keeping the cell clean and efficient. The ribosomes, or workshop, builds proteins. It's like a tiny construction site, building the cell structures. And the cytoskeleton, or scaffolding, provides structure and support for the cell. It's like a tiny framework, holding the cell together. Just like houses come in different sizes and styles, there are two main types of cells. Prokaryotic cells, like small, simple houses without many rooms, and eukaryotic cells, like big houses with many rooms and furniture. Prokaryotic cells, like bacteria, have a single circular chromosome and no true nucleus. Eukaryotic cells, like plants, Animals and humans have multiple linear chromosomes and a true nucleus. As we explore the cell, we find other structures like centrioles, chloroplasts, vacuoles, cilia, and flagella, each with a specific function. Centrioles, or construction sites, help build cilia, flagella, and spindle fibers. Chloroplasts, or solar panels, convert sunlight into energy in plant cells. Vacuoles, or storage rooms, store water, salts, and other substances. Cilia, or hair-like structures, help move substances along the cell surface. Flagella, or whip-like structures, help move the cell. In this tiny village of cells, each house works together to form tissues, organs, and systems, creating a thriving community that makes up our bodies. And understanding how cells work is essential for understanding how our bodies function. Now please tell me how you like the video, comments, and subscribe the channel.